Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel and another Drone Camps RC review. We have a pretty awesome quad here from Tovsto, T-O-V-S-T-O. This is the Falcon 150. Very similar to another quadcopter out there on the market. You might have seen the Rodeo 150, but this one is yellow and black and it has some few different features on here, but looks strikingly similar to the Rodeo. If you're looking for something to that similar style, frame and function, this one flies a lot like the Rodeo 150 as well. I've demoed both of them now, so I know they're almost exactly the same, identical. Both are in clean flight and customizable in clean flight. This one comes with this handy little controller right here. It has all the flight mode switches on here that you normally get. Stabilize, you get horizon mode, and you get acro mode, full acro with this, so you can fly it for racing or freestyle. But let's go ahead and take a closer look at this little Falcon 150, and then we'll go outside and do some flying. Okay guys, let's go ahead and check out Tovsto's newest micro FPV racer. It's called the Falcon 150 and it is the little brother to the Falcon 210 that you saw right here on the channel. I did a review of that one a while back, and I also did a review of some Tovsto goggles that they did, some box style goggles. They make some pretty nice stuff, and this is very similar to the Walkera Rodeo 150 that you've seen on this channel. I did demo and review that one almost a year ago now, but this one is their own version, very similar to that, but it has a better color scheme in my opinion. Black and yellow is a little more aggressive looking for FPV racing than that kind of phantom DJI white. It's nice to see something in a different color scheme. This one also might be a little bit cheaper. Both of them are tunable in clean flight, so you can go in here and change the PID settings around. It does feature LEDs on the front. It has a 520 TVL camera on here with a 120-degree field of view, so it is pretty wide, but not wide enough to be a fisheye angle. It's also tiltable, so you can turn that camera, you can tune it on the side. There's little screws you can loosen on each side in this larger hole right here, and then you can move it all the way down to horizontal and all the way up. Yeah, look at my finger, guys. I just got nailed by one of the race gates I was setting up for you guys earlier today. But in the very back we have this little sort of, it's not a hatchback, it doesn't lift up, but it's just sort of the quad design. And over here on the right hand side, you can see, if you look really close here, let's see if I can get my camera to focus up close for you, you can see the VTX channels in there. They are dip switches. I would like to see maybe an LED display on that, but it's going to make this quad more expensive if we do that. So also they have, I believe those are 1308 4500 kV motors, so the motors really rock. And this quad is actually flying on 2S. It has a little tiny 2S battery, and we have an 850 milliamp by 25C. Not a super high rating on the C rating, but you are going to get pretty good power out of this. I was able to get quite decent punch outs with it. And it's also sporting that F3 flight controller in here that I do like. It's the SP Racing flight controller. So this flight controller is going to be different than the Rodeo 150's flight controller. That's proprietary to Walkera, I believe. So let's look at the very back. If you look at the antenna on this side and the antenna on this side, they're different. This one's straight and this one has some heat shrink around it. That's your FPV video transmission antenna right here, and then on this side, this clear one is your receiver antenna. Now it was kind of weird that it's sticking out the back like that. I would think that it should stick up so we can see it in all directions, but during my field testing I didn't have any problems with it. It actually did quite well and I never lost signal, which is really good. Now this one's also an RTF, so it does come with a pretty decent transmitter. It has a 3-position mode switch on there, and it has a kill switch right in the middle of it, so if something goes bad you can just kill the motors. It also has the USB cable port over here on this side, and you can hook that straight up to Betaflight or clean flight, I believe. You might be able to flash Betaflight on this one. And on the very bottom of the motors, it does have little motor guards underneath for landing, and it does have shroud around the side for your bumps and crashes, which is kind of cool. It just sticks up a little tiny bit to protect the bottom of this bell, and that's really nice. You do have 35-45 props on here. They're single blade, so this is going to give you a little longer flight time than if you were going to fly tri-props. Tri-props will give you more punch, but remember the single blades will actually give you a longer flight time. So flight time on this was about 4 minutes, a little bit longer than the original Rodeo 150. Now this is the transmitter that comes along with it. It has these nice little rubber grips that go over top of these little joysticks right here, and you know what, I like these rubber grips. I would like to be able to put these on other transmitters because these are a little bit sticky on your fingers, which is nice, but I like this rubber grip because I do actually fly with rubber grips over top of my Tyrannus Plus, and I like the way that feels. It's just to protect it in shipping, but I actually kept them on there because I liked it. You have this little strap in the middle for a neck strap, but they don't give you a neck strap in this kit. And then this is the very middle button, the unlock and lock button, and just press that to start the motors and press it again to stop them. Power button is down on the bottom right here. Right now it's looking for the quad, so it's going to beep at you. Now the cool thing about this is also that when you get to a low voltage on your battery, it does start beeping like crazy, so it's going to let you know that, hey, I'm at low voltage, I need to land before I destroy the battery. And that's really nice. Up at the top right you have your 3-position mode switch. So first switch in the first position is going to be stability mode. Then that's going to be horizon mode, which is still going to give you a little stability, but allow you to do flips. Third position down is going to be acro mode. Now the manual that comes along with this is actually pretty nice, and it does have a fully featured menu in here for all your different channels for your VTX settings. You have quite a few different channel settings. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bands on here, and we have 8 channels on each band. Now what's cool about this is you notice there's 2 pages of that. That's because there is 200 milliwatt and 25 milliwatt. It is a switchable VTX, which is also super cool because that's what you want these days. If you want to race with this, you're racing with the other guys, you can fly it on 25 milliwatt. If you're racing, playing around in a big open field, set it to 200 milliwatt. And the only way to do that, the easiest way to do that, they say right here in the manual, is just to pull that little dongle out. There's a little tiny black piece of plastic, and I have one right here inside this bag right here. You just pull that out and it makes it 200 milliwatt. Very cool. Now also in this kit, if you don't have Allen wrenches, they provide one for you. If you need to get into the body of this quad, you can. That's really nice that they include that. That's the exact size for the bolts on this frame. So they also give you a USB style charger, and that's nice because it does have a little red light on here when it's charging. You just plug this into the balance lead of your battery just like that, and plug this other end into your computer, and you'll see that red light and it'll go out when it's finished charging. I believe it took around an hour to get one of these batteries charged with this. If you have a higher amperage rate USB charger, something like 2.5 amps, it might charge a little quicker than if you have a standard computer USB port, which I believe is like 1 amp. Now you also get a screwdriver in the kit, and this allows you to remove some more bolts on the frame. And you also get, this is kind of nice, not a carbon wrench. This is actually a solid steel wrench for removing your props. All right guys, let's go ahead and do a weigh-in on the Falcon 150. I'm going to set it on here upside down so it's not touching the scale. I have 188 grams total, and with the battery we have 229, so it's underneath that FAA registration point. No need to register this one or put a number on it. Very, very nice and lightweight. Okay, so final opinion time. Let's give you a Drone Camp's opinion on this quad. I like the frame a lot. I like the fact that this one's black and yellow. It looks, like I said, a little more aggressive than that all white. This might make it a little harder to find if you crash out in the weeds, the black. But it does have a beeper on there, so if you lose it and it loses transmission, it will start beeping. It also has that low voltage sensor on there, so if it senses that your battery's at low voltage, it's going to start beeping as well. Also nice that they did LEDs in the front, so you can sort of see a headlight. If you're flying it line of sight, you always know where the front of it is. They don't have LEDs on the back and the rear or underneath, but you can tell where the front of the quad is. So I feel like for new guys, that's really good. 520 TVL camera is acceptable. I'd like to see 600 TVL on there if they do a new version of this for mid 2017 or maybe the third or fourth quarter in 2017. That would also be nice. And I would also like to see an upgrade that they did a digital display for the VTX for you guys. Just a few maybe upgrade options that they can maybe do in the future, a few suggestions from us. Now, I also would like to see that maybe they include a set of tri-props in here, because some guys might want to try out the tri-props. If you want to try out tri-props, get yourself some 3-inch tri-props. Racecraft is making some pretty sweet 3-inch props and Luminaire as well, so you can get either of those from either company. But I like this quad overall. I like the way it flew. It was super responsive and super fast. I have to remind myself when I'm flying these smaller ones that they are smaller quads. They're not going to punch out like a full 5-inch quad. And with 20 amp ESCs on here, I feel like it has plenty of ESC for 2S. 20 amp is absolutely top shelf for a 2S battery. Very, very nice that they have 20 amp on here. I am impressed by that. So most of it so far has been impressive. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this little review, and hope to see you again on the next one. Please do subscribe and check out the Quad Club, because the Quad Club is growing and we have new stuff and new deals on there all the time for you guys. So anyway, I'm Justin Davis, and I will see you on the next one.